Hello and welcome back to Dan's Drives. This week, Andrew's 1970 Ford Capri GT.
You're going home in the back of the minivan. You're going home in the back of the minivan. Well, I was lost and I was stoned, just jumping friends. Now I'm on my own. I was high, but I was.
That's my baby. I first bought this car in 1987. It was a white car, diamond white. I had it for about 2 years and then I rode it off on the Eastern Freeway, smashed into a XC Falcon and stoved in the complete side of the car and the rear quarter panel. So I bought another body and I thought I'm going to rebuild this car because I love the car. And in the course of say 5 years, I stripped this car completely myself, sandblasted it, had it all resprayed in candy apple red, and it's done in acrylic. That's why it's all cracked. It was completed in about 91 and that's when I put it all back together and got it back on the road. So it's an original 1970s Mark 1 V6 GT Capri. It does a lot of power. I love this car. Had a lot of fun in it. All my mates at the time had XYs and XW Falcons, and we used to do drag races at a road called Reynolds Road back out at Warrandyte and a quarter mile back in the day, and this used to beat us, so it was one of the fastest cars of the day when I was hooning around. The best thing about this car is the burnouts. You can completely smoke it up. I used to fill the whole pub of Warrandyte in the main bar full of smoke, so it's definitely a grouse burnout car.
These
It's one
were
of the
real
best.
light body, weren't they?
Oh yeah, real light body.
You worked the motor?
I worked the motor, yeah, I rebuilt the motor myself. Maximum speed I had it to, I remember one day I had it on the Eastern Freeway in the early 90s and it was valve bouncing off its head and I was doing about 130 mile an hour in it.
And that
It
comes
was
under
mad.
the sort of area of things you got away with in the late 80s, early 90s that you can't do now.
Yeah, hoon laws, yeah. But it's a fun car.
All right, what do you say we take it for a spin?
No worries, let's go. So no power steering, so you're going to be rolling when you move the steering wheel.
Yeah, we're all over that.
The sports steering wheel.
Everyone in that era loved putting tiny steering
Yep.
wheels on cars without power steering
That's right, that was the go.
and then attempting to make them steer.
That's right. Just go watch the temperature gauge in this old beast. She creeps up on you.
Yep. Ford things.
Yeah. British Ford, mate.
British Ford.
So it's a Selecta 5-speed gearbox, and I shortened the shifter on it, cut it in half, and put the skull shifter on it.
Nice. And I take it many a time back in the day that second gear would have been in a hurry.
Yeah.
Give it a squirt. That's not bad.
Rev it again. Rev it out to 5.5.
Bonnet's up, Andrew.
Huh?
Bonnet's up.
Bonnet's up. How's it feeling, Dan?
Amazing.
Yeah, it's good fun.
See, Andrew, it's a Ford. It knows that you're going to have to open the bonnet at some point, so it's doing it for you.
Is that right?
That's what I heard.
I don't think so. Come on, Dan, get those gears, mate.
Just getting used to it still. Very different sort of car to drive, isn't it?
Oh yeah. And that's the best thing about this V6. It's got that really nice rev note.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't sound like a modern V6, does it?
No.
It's definitely the 70s, 80s sort of era note, isn't it?
Yeah.
It just sings along, doesn't it?
Certainly does. It's just a fun car all round.
The feedback through that, it's like nothing modern, isn't it? The feedback through old school non-power assisted steering.
Yeah.
Just give it a nice, let it pull right through the rev range here.
There's that note.
That's beautiful, isn't it?
I love that note. And you can keep your gear changes above 4,000.
Yep.
You'll stay in that nice power note.
Stay right in that nice power band, yeah, that's...
She just hammers and surprises a lot of people. This car.
Because it doesn't, you know, you don't think like, well, me personally, I don't think of a Capri as a particularly fast car, but clearly, definitely goes well for, especially for the era.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. It's got that classic look that I like too, with the long bonnet, short back.
Yep.
But I changed the gearbox in this because the original gearbox in the Capris was the Borg Warner.
Yep.
4-speed.
Okay.
With the external linkages.
Yep.
So if anyone knows about the external linkages on the Borg Warners, they're always stuffed up. You get a rock caught in them, or they'll bend easily. So one of the first things a lot of people did with these cars in the 70s was get a conversion bell housing,
Yep.
and then get rid of the Borg Warner gearbox external linkages.
The Celica box is really,
Indestructible.
it was a common swap into everything back then, wasn't it?
Yeah, you put them behind 350s, put them in a lot of cars.
I know a lot of people running behind the Holden 6s.
Yep.
Very popular conversion. For obvious reasons. I mean, I've never driven this car, and obviously my gear shifts are nowhere near fast, but you can feel that it's a smooth gearbox, and as you say, once you're used to how to shift it, you can definitely get the thing moving.
Certainly hammers, but like she's had a rough life.
And that's the thing, is back in the day when you were driving this car, obviously it was a worked car, but it wouldn't have been, you know, a particularly crazy valuable car in itself, would it? You know?
No, I bought the diamond white one for like $2,000 back in 1987. Tooth and horn, it's got the classic air horns on it, on the column.
Oh.
That's a very classic 70s, 80s air horn.
Yep. Original modifications.
Yeah, this was my P-plater car.
Yeah. I think it's great that you've kept it all these years.
Yeah, no, I love it. The body obviously had a few issues. Had a few gates fell on the front of it, backed into a tree. It's been sitting outside in the weather all this time and got crow's feet all over it.
But this car has lived, you know.
Has.
And
A lot of war wounds.
I can see in the way you feel about it, it means a lot. It's not just a car, you know.
Ah,
And do you have any plans in the future to spray the body, or are you happy to leave it how it is?
I'm happy to leave it the way it is.
I mean,
My daughter wants to fully restore it again, but I think it's great the way it is. It's a fun car. You know, you don't really worry about wrecking the Duco when you take it off road.
and that's it. You know, you can not be worried about getting a minor stone chip, or you know, but definitely tells some history. You look at this car and you would not think it'd blow you off at the lights, but
No, it's right.
it'll certainly give you a run for your money.
Well, if you pull up here, I'll jump in and I'll take it for a spin.
Half time, change sides. Oh yeah. Bins.
That's how you drive it.
That's how you drive it.
Oh yeah.
Well, see,
Loves to be thrashed, mate.
you're a lot less worried to do it when it's your car. You know what I mean? Since you built it. And there's the reaction.
It's a mess.
Oh.
It brings back my youth.
Yeah, it has to. I mean, that's what cars like this are for.
It brings back my youth. I love it.
Look out! Look out! Look out! Look out! Look out! Look out!
That's how you drive that car, Dan.
It's an gem.
You got to give it the stick. So it's not like the Corvette, where she doesn't do burnouts, and then you just smell that over-fueling from the small 4-barrel Weber, Holly, sorry, and it just has that smell, plenty of gas, plenty of balls, and the smell, can't beat the smell of burning rubber.
Can't.
And I'd like to see you holding to it, mate.
Oh,
Come on,
please.
let's see it.
Oh, mate.
Let's see that little
Hey.
duddy door.
Oh, come on.
Rock and roll. How about we have a drag race, the Capri versus the Dunny Door.
Yeah, you book a strip.
Right here,
Right here.
Reynolds Road.
Reynolds Road.
So how to
See
feel,
that?
Dad?
See that smile? That's 80s. Dropping clutches, hitting brakes.
Oh, yeah.
Hey? Grabbing gears.
Grabbing
Right
gears,
there.
you gotta love it.
Now tell me that doesn't make you feel 18
Oh, yeah.
again.
It does.
Eh?
Absolutely. Brings back the youth.
That is an absolute dream. Obviously, I wasn't going to drive his car like that, but I'm damn glad he did, because that is fun.
A lot of fun.
Andrew, thank you for letting me drive your baby
No worries, mate.
and for taking me for a spin in it.
Yeah, well, that's how you gotta drive it, mate.
Good fun. And
You gotta learn to drive it hard. And this type of car, you need to drive hard.
when it's your car. That's it for this episode of Dan's Drives. We'll see you next week.